Hey guys, Mr. E here, Content Thief Extraordinaire. Today we are taking a look at a build that I can in no way, shape, or form take any credit for creating. In fact, all credit for that goes to this guy right here, Candones. He is a fellow Darktide content creator and player, and quite a good one at that. I mean, he must be to come up with a build like this. I mean, no joke when I say I looked at this thing for half an hour or more, tested it in the Psycanium, tried to figure out any way to add efficiencies to it or any real changes, and I could come up with next to nothing. So I'm just presenting the build as is to you guys. This is the build. This is his build. So if you want to see more of his builds, go check out his channel. Here it is linked again, and it's in the description. And in order to see this build in particular, you'll need to become a member. Pillager. Hey, I'm a pillager. It's only $1, so maybe you can help support him and the burgeoning Darktide economy. Okay, let's get into things here. We need to first talk about our weapons and our curios. Of course, there is sort of a consensus that right now these are the two best weapons for melee psychers. We got the Blaze Force Greatsword. Absolutely peak weapon in the game right now. Crazy weapon. Warp Slash, just huge single target, good multi-target, and great blessings. So yeah, super strong all-rounder weapon. Psyker's best melee weapon, definitely up there, right? Definitely for a melee Psyker, it's the best. So for perks, or sort of the stats up here, you see I have defenses dumped and I have max warp resist. He actually recommends low warp resist and then max everything else. I am lazy. I am too lazy to reroll another one, and also, I don't feel like it really makes a whole heck of a lot of difference. We are running Squires Gaze, so we're going to max out our warp in no time, and then we're going to hang out at pretty high peril pretty much from that point on throughout the rest of the game. So it won't make ultimately a whole lot of difference. I just didn't want to reroll my sword, sorry. Perks, Unyielding and Flak. We want to go in on bosses. This is a really good boss killing weapon, and Flak is just the general everything else. Being able to one-shot stuff is very nice. Blessings, I do have a little bit of change from him here. Riposte instead of his recommendation of Shred. I find that Riposte is a better blessing because it just activates 20% for 6 seconds the first time you dodge any ranged or melee attack. Dodging stuff is very easy on this build and just in general, so you'll get this active, and then you get 20% crit chance that actually persists into swapping weapons, or even persists into unequipping your weapons and throwing out sails or whatever it might be. Then of course unstable power, because we are going to be fairly maxed out on peril most of the game. Then we're going into Heavy Las Pistol Mark II, Infernus Dum Dum here with Unyielding and Flak. As I showcased in my last build with this, everything maxed out except for stability, because this thing has no stability problems at all. And this thing is our ranged target, Murderizer, plus this can pump some absolutely crazy boss damage with repeated shots to the face. So don't be shy about blasting a Chaos Spawn or something repeatedly with this and just melting their health bar. For curios down here, triple toughness, I believe you don't have to do combat ability regen. You can do some defensive stats there like health or damage resistance or whatever, but definitely triple toughness and definitely triple revive speed. Okay, cool. Going on to the talent side of things, and this is where I want to actually really get into this and explain how well put together this is, because I was actually quite impressed to see some of the synergies here that I think are working very nicely. So up here we've got our nice typical defensive configuration for warp casters. I think I've used this a number of times. But we're adding in warp expenditure. We're going to metal, perfect timing, warp expenditure, soul stealer, perilous combustion. This is just a great setup when you're using enough warp attacks that you can get this stuff over here to be active and get crits at the same time. We come over here and we're grabbing a sail, a blitz that I don't really use in many builds, right? It doesn't seem to be all that effective, but it gets extra effect out of our first mega synergy here, Malefic Momentum. So this is something I included in my last Psyker build, my last melee Psyker build, pointing out that yes, if in fact you do get brain pops from Kinetic Flare, or you kill things with your Warp Slash, or Soul Blaze happens to execute an enemy, then you will get stacks of Malefic Momentum, which help boost your melee damage. And then your melee damage will get kills that will help boost all that other stuff. Well, this is now going to work even better because a sail is just omega pumped by this, right? This is going to pump the damage of a sail by 25%, and it's super easy to pick up kills with a sail because it's a sail. So we just kind of throw it into hordes like light elites, light shotgunners, stuff like that, and pick up multiple kills, and then that'll max out our melee damage for 8 seconds. So you can just one time every 8 seconds throw one of these out and you'll pick up a kill, and then you'll have maxed out 25% bonus melee damage. Over here we've got lightning speed for enhanced melee attack speed, and then another crazy synergy, warp splitting, up to 100% cleave based on peril. So this is not melee only. This applies to ranged attacks and to melee attacks and to assail. So assail will now get 100% double the cleave value, which means it can pierce through the 3 enemies, like 3 shotgunners, instead of only 2 without this. And yeah, that is really crazy, because otherwise you'd have to take like ethereal shards in order to get that bonus penetration, but this allows it to get it just by being high on peril. And what a cool little coincidence that is. Critical chance into Seer's Presence, Psychonetics, or over here for Empathic Evasion. Same way we're getting defense in the last one. The only thing that can really murderize us is if you can't get a crit, then you're going to get just absolutely destroyed by ranged attackers, because they can get a beat on you. Then we go over here for one with the warp, and all the way over here for Scryer's Gaze, Precognition, and this time we're taking Warp Unbound, and we're not taking Warp Speed, because we are going to be spending a good amount of our time throwing out assails, which, you know, you're not going to be very fast while you're doing that, but Warp Unbound prevents us from overloading while we are hurling these assails out. So what you want to do is you want to get pretty high by fighting with your sword, and then when you're like at 90 or 100%, once you cap out, now you get 10, actually 11.5 full seconds where you can just hurl all of your assails without worrying about blowing up. And I think Warp Unbound is a nice little quality of life thing anytime you're using Force Greatsword as well, because it now no longer precludes you from using like your push stab or any of your, you know, peril generating moves. When you're at 100, you won't have to worry about blowing up. Over here we've got Kinetic Deflection, because, you know, sometimes you'll need to res people and just block in general. And over here we've got Vulnerable Minds, Warp Rider, and Warp Ghost. Warp Ghost is going to be very nice for us here, because it keeps our passive quelling from degenerating our peril too fast, and we want to keep high peril, because that's going to keep our damage reduction high, that's going to keep our damage high, and that's going to also keep the damage on our weapon from unstable power at its maximal effect. So lots. Oh, and of course our cleave is going to be high, so we want to stay really high and then just overcap it with Scryer's Gaze, and then use that effect of Warp Unbound to be able to cast and get all those bonuses while we're casting. Empowered Psionics down here is the last part, and Empowered Psionics with the guarantee on elite kills and up to 3 stacks. What it does for our Ensail is it makes it cost no peril, but more importantly, it increases the damage by 20% or so, and then doesn't consume any charges. So if you start throwing your assails at a pack of like shotgunners or gunners, those little missiles will go over there, they'll kill it, they'll claim the kills, and then the next assail you throw won't take any more of your charges. So in fact, since the one assail can kill multiple targets, it will actually allow you to max this out and get 3 stacks, and then you can just wipe out a whole horde of enemies with a rack of assails. And assails replenish 1 per 3 seconds, so you'll get the whole 10 of them back in roughly 30 seconds time, and then you'll overload again and you'll blast them out. Don't be afraid of using these things to like clean up horde that's in front of you. They are really efficient, and the only enemies they're really weak against are things like dogs, maniacs in general. They're not very good against. They just kind of like push them around, but always a very fun way to play. And yeah, awesome build. You should go check him out. Thank you so much to him for showing me this, because I would have just not even known that it was like this cool if I hadn't. And let's go see how it works in game, guys. Fuck my life.
Target specification. Elimination protocols engaged. Delivering mercy. Indeed. This message is important, of course. But is it vital?
Status update for this war zone at the bedroom. Losing its power, especially when the bullets are flying.
Oh, we're gonna get the demon host. It's behind the wall. Just get ready. Oh, fucking man. Damn, I'm gonna die. Oh, at least this went down. So many fucking guns in there, holy shit. Bring him over here.
Neutralization commenced.
Oh my god, dude. Fucking library books. Oh. Alright, GG fellas. I'm gonna go steal this build and make a video on it.